Hello again, everybody. Mark from MT.TrainRestorations back again. Part two of our series of renovating, refurbishing, restoring, whatever you would like to call it, of the Lionel passenger set that they made, the 613, 14, and 15. Those cars are very special when Lionel made them. So we're going to take another one apart real quick and show you what I'm finding as I take them apart. So let me focus this back down on my workbench area and get us tuned back in on what we need to do. And make sure everybody can see what we're looking at here. So with that, just want to make sure that everybody's tuned in here. So where we left off before, we did the baggage car already. This is a observation car. I took the roof off. It's kind of nasty. I wanted to see how bad this rust was, so I opened the tabs earlier to take this off. So not bad. I expected a lot worse. Can't see any daylight through it. That's a good sign. So obviously taking all this off is going to create some rough areas on the top of the car, on the roof, but I think we can overcome some of that. I do have some glazing putty I use. It's automobile putty. I'm sure some of you may have used it already. I don't think I need to do Bondo, but I have used the glazing putty in the past to kind of take care of some of this pock marks and so on. So I'll sandblast these pieces down to the bare metal, see what I'm left with there, sand some of that as smooth as we can get it, and fill in some of the dips and small divots and holes from the rust, and with some putty. This part, the mechanism works fine. The spring, everything's intact. To remove that, though, I'm just going to drill out. These are little brass rivets, brass or copper rivets that they put in here. It's no big deal just to pop that out of there with a drill that rivet out, take this mechanism right off of this piece, and that'll be cleaned off too, because this was probably nickel from the factory. Yeah, the paint comes right off. I'll probably just end up scraping it off and cleaning it in some CLR. That's what I use for a lot of my parts to clean them. So I'll take that off. I'll blast this roof and strip it down to marrow. Fix any rust. We got a little damage on the outside here as well. I don't think it's that serious. We'll find out. So that's that. These don't seem, these were the worst ones actually, so I think we're in pretty good shape. Back to the car real quick. Again, similar to what we took apart already on the other car, I'm just going to back some of these tabs off. Again, if you remember, I just put underneath there, get underneath and twist, put a little twist to it, and just stand them up easily, because we don't want those to crack off, because these are the ones that hold the windows in. We want that to be a nice tight fit. Just get underneath there again and twist that until the tab is pretty straight. And same with that one twisted really easy, so I have a feeling we're gonna have to keep our eye on that one. That might be one that we lose. Just be careful. It looks like whoever had this apart the last time, there's tabs underneath too, under this bench, which is acting as two different things. It's a stiffener for this window section to keep it from being like a wet noodle, and it simulates a bench. People sit inside the car. That's what I think anyway. There's tabs underneath it in here that's real hard to see. You have to almost look through this window to see them and work them through the door or the window to lift those tabs up the same way. But it is doable. I do it all the time. But whoever did this one last did not bend those tabs over when they had the window out last. So that's a great thing. So them being in that position helps a lot. So let's see if we can get this out of here. There we go. So again, these little spots right here where the numbers are will be where the real number goes. This will say observation in the future, and we'll put that in this box of parts. I already took the light out. The light was here. We took that out already. It's not the right light, but I have some of the right ones. Obviously the wire doesn't do us any good at this point because it'll all get rewired, so we're just going to cut that out of our way, get rid of that for now. And then these trucks, I don't know where they made them from. I guess it worked as a function, but these are the composite wheels that they sell these days. They're kind of composite. I'm not sure what they're made out of, but you can still buy those. The axle's what's important. We'll see what works on here. Just pop those out of there real quick, stick them down in here, and so on. I'm probably not going to need those anymore because I'm going to put the real trucks on. The journals are something that we probably want to save. Journals, even from my parts guy. It looks like they broke all the tabs off these journals. They may not be as good as I thought. Looks like they broke all the tabs off and either glued or soldered these on somehow. Let me see. I'm kind of curious what they did to secure those. Yeah, they just soldered them on. It's a shame. Shame to cut up the little tabs off of those, but they're not worth trying to put a tab on two sides just to save them. They're only like $1 a piece or so from my parts, man. So, okay. Those are probably going to be trashed along with the truck. Obviously, we know this is going to be trashed. But the holes, what's important is the holes that were there from the factory are still there, which is good. They didn't drill through them, make them bigger, or mess those up too bad. So I think, once I clean these off, that's a good thing. And like I was saying last time, as far as these steps go, they are available. This one here did a good idea. It just soldered a piece of bar on there. It sufficed for that day, but we can fix those back up. So I'm going to pop out the other window here real quick, and again, we just want to, that one, I think that one's going to be gone too. Let me see what this one, yeah, you can tell by the way they start to open up if they're going to live through the process of renovation. These couple here seem pretty good. This one's not. It's a little fussy there. This one here is coming apart too easily, so that one's bent over. The two in the middle are not. So what I'll do here on this one, I'm not sure if you can even see that under there, but with the light it's hard to tell, but there is a tab under there underneath the seat. I don't know if you can see that. Right there, there's a tab that I can get to from this window or from the door and twist it up slightly. There we go. The two in the middle that are right here, you can see them where its window's gone. You can see the tabs that are on the inside. Now this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because it is bent over and there's no window or door back here, which is a little odd. What else is odd on this is that's solid. You can see there's places for these railings to go through. 4 square holes, but there's no railing, and it's metal. There's a door here, and there's actually a door there, as you can see. But it's been covered up. You don't see it from outside for whatever reason. I haven't found that out yet, but there's some odd things on these cars that I'm seeing as I look at them on first inspection that are curious. You can see it doesn't look like this is factory. Which I don't really understand. I think that's factory. I got to do a little bit more digging on this one, but I don't know if that was not punched when they made these cars? And if that's the case, how did they get out the door? You know, how would Lionel let those go out for sale without a door on the observation car on one side? So I got to do a little digging there to see what we need to do. In the back, same thing. There's typically a door, window, leading out to the observation deck. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I don't want to swear to it because I've not researched it in the book enough. So anyway, let me see if we can open this one up where it's, there we go, there. So that wasn't too bad. So let me try to work this off of these tabs that are weak. There. And then that one. Okay, so far so good. Let me work it off the bottom ones. There. Okay. So hopefully it'll make it through the paint stripping process without losing those tabs. These are pretty rigid. These are a lot more rigid than the ones that come in, say, the 601, or excuse me, the 602, 3, 4, 5 series. I have a couple of those here somewhere. Let me grab one of those real quick, and I'm just going to show what this is. This is going to be the next project. Found these, I don't know, about a year ago. Somebody had tried to refinish these as well. Didn't do that very good of a job. There's some issues here. So anyway, this is pretty thin. You can see the difference in the series, the quality from one to the other. Obviously, they were looking to save cost over the years, so they went from this series, they made these for everybody can get a set that was able to afford what they could. So anyway, with that said, again, here we are back to the floor. The air box underneath. What we're going to do is bend these tabs up here real quick. Get that cleaned off of there. Again, like I said, just get under it, work it, wiggle it, and just turn that lightly to get that to lift up. We're going to do the same thing here. Just going to turn that just so much to get that up straight. Same here. It looks like the ones in the middle are already bent up. There's 6 tabs on this, but they only had 4 of them bent over. All right, good. So there, that's a good one. Like I said earlier on the other car, these are the factory color that it came with, I'm pretty sure. So we'll throw that in there. Save these parts. We're not going to save the trucks. We're not going to save the wheels. We're probably not even going to save the axles because they're probably, I don't know if they're going to be the right size. They may be the right size for the trucks that I am going to put on here. We'll save them for now, and we'll ditch them later. Now this came off of probably a modern part you can buy. I've seen these before. Some of the plastic cars that Lionel makes now, I don't mess with the plastic cars or the modern age cars. But it works, it functions. I'm not going to use it on here, but so anyway, let's take these out of the way. It'll make it easier getting rid of the trucks and the. Now back to the step. The observation car has two steps on it from the factory. One's missing, one's here. You can see the tabs are here. I'm going to attempt to bend that up. Twist that a little bit to stand it up. Same with this one. I think I'm going to go through this little hole here to do that. And turn that one up a little bit just to get her up. Oh, it falls right out. Okay, so this is a step. This is normally bent straight. This is normally bent straight. So this is what it actually looks like when it comes from the factory. This is a nickel. I've seen them in brass. They do make some in brass depending on how the car's trimmed out. But that's the step. I do believe I have a couple of these. We're going to save that. And now, just real quick, I'll take this off later. We're going to take off. Well, this looks like this is also, yeah, it doesn't look like to me. This basket has been, the tabs are not the only thing holding this on. So the tabs up above, looks like they're pretty, oop, lost my tablecloth. Oh no, My wife will be mad at me. My tablecloth is all full of junk. So looks like the tab, if there's a tab here left at all, it's pretty covered over with paint, but it doesn't look like a tab. Looks to me like it's a, again, they did a little soldering here to solder that on, but there's typically a tab on the ends of this basket that fall into two little slots that are on the part of the body right here. There should be two slots that you don't see. That's because the slots are there, but the tabs that go into them are not. That they're broken. So we'll have to do some creative work. Oh, there's a tab. Okay. On this side you can see a tab right in there. That would be the slot for a tab on the basket to fit into, but it's been soldered. So I'll heat this up, take that off. Let's see what we got going on here. I think there's some tabs on the inside showing, so we might be able to just take those out. See, here's some here. But it looks like whoever did this liked using a lot of little solder balls. So they put solder on all kind of little things like that. These two tabs that hold the basket on are also sort of tacked in place with solder. So once I heat this up, I'll get the paint off because it'll burn and smoke and stink. So I will do that on another off-camera thing for it. We don't show you me catching the whole shop on fire. But again, so the body's in really good shape. The roof could be repaired with the new trucks on it. The basket repaired. I actually have a basket like this, I believe. Let me see here what I got. Excuse my head for a moment. Let's see. Yeah, I have a couple. I have a brass. I have one in nickel. So I do got some of that. I got one here. It's got the little license plate holder on the back with the windows, for the lights, the little reflectors. So I do have some parts. I try to keep a little bit of everything over the years because you can't find things, and the day's going to come where there is nobody out there that has parts other than when you find these junkers, people will strip them down, which is a shame. I see guys buying these cars complete, then they strip them all apart and sell these things. They'll sell this window for 20, 30 bucks. That's a crime. I mean, but when you need one, you need one. So what are you going to do? I try to buy up things that are complete and put them back complete with what I have. So to do that, I got to get parts from somewhere. So again, I'm probably going to sign off for the moment, do some more exploration work, and on the next show, part 3, we'll see how far I get on stripping, getting these prepared to receive paint, looking for parts to replace, unsoldering some of the soldered pieces, and it'll be interesting, really will. And I got to find out how and why these things are not showing. There should be a door there, but so we'll find out some of these anomalies, what's going on. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope this is interesting to you. And I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll be back again pretty soon. Thanks so much.